Alicia Lawyers with me. Susan Moss, New York. Remy Spencer, defense attorney out of New York. Gail Galanter, lawyer for O.J. Simpson, defense attorney, joining me out of the Miami jurisdiction. All right, Galanter, come on. People say you kill your wife, and when you're asked about it, they go, can't prove it. That doesn't wash with me.
I don't think the inmate testimony has any credibility at all. All these inmates are looking for a get-out-of-jail-free card. They're all looking to curry favor with the prosecution. You know, this is a very high-profile case. They know it's on television. They could have gotten this information anywhere. And the whole idea that they couldn't have corroborated to get their story straight is inconceivable, because all they have is time on their hand, and that's all inmates do is try and figure out how to get out of jail.
Really? So how do you place one correctional institute collect phone call to another correctional institute payphone that doesn't accept collect phone calls? There's no way that these guys could have gotten together and colluded, Sue Moss, and the reality is they were in jail at different times, in different cells, on different cell blocks, and he says the same thing every time, Sue Moss. When asked behind bars, Mr. Big Man says, yeah, they can't prove it.
That's right. Apparently everyone in the old cell block is talking to this jailhouse doc. I mean, the reality is, if they can't show that these four people spoke to each other and got their story straight, the fact that they use the same language, the fact that they use the same descriptions is really going to put this case in a nice little bow based upon all the evidence that had been presented to date.
Remy Spencer, may I ask you, neither here nor there, but why are you smiling? Is this funny?
Of course it's not funny, but the question is, what can they prove? And if all they can say is that the doctor said the state can't prove it, how can anybody conceivably argue that that is a confession? It is the state's burden to prove it.
Nobody said it was a confession. Did I say it was confession?
No, Nancy, you didn't say it. But if the prosecutors are
Remy?
putting them up on the stand,
are you married?
Then I'm really not sure how that has anything to do with a murder trial, Nancy.
I'm going to take that as a no. All right, Remy, if your husband, or it doesn't even matter, married, not married, if somebody you love turns up dead, somebody you love, and somebody else says, did you kill him? You know what? If somebody said that to me, they would get a knuckle sandwich, no mayo.
You're right, Nancy.
If someone would even suggest that you could kill the thing you love the most in the world, and all this guy says is, they can't prove it.
Yeah, but Nancy, you're not sitting in a cell. You're not sitting in a cell. You're not facing a murder indictment. Well, he's innocent under the law, unless and until the state can prove him guilty. So to say that his reaction is different than what yours or mine would be under the circumstances is not a fair comparison. He is under indictment on trial for his life.
Remy, look around. Does it look like a courtroom to you? Do you see a judge? Do you see a jury? Do you see witnesses, bailiffs? No, you do not, because we are not in a court of law. We are not bound by the rules of evidence. We can talk about whatever we want to talk about. And I want to talk about the fact that every time he was approached behind bars and said, hey, did you do it? All he would say is, either the bitch drowned or they can't prove it. Now, see, that bothers me, Remy.
I think
that concerns me.